Hey guys, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Yeah, this is when I'm doing it in the morning. It's Wednesday morning, second Homebrew Wednesday, I think. So I'm just trying to do these. Sorry, production values, and they're not going to be too crazy. So I'm just shooting them on my phone and all that. So not really a whole lot to talk about this week. My stout is still fermenting. I probably could put it to keg or at least a secondary. I think I'm going to give it a few days because I'm really in no big hurry. I guess the only big thing I got going on, I don't know if you can see it over my shoulder, so I'll flip the camera around and talk about CO2. Um, so yeah, I got some tanks here. Basically, when I got this kegerator set up, which it looks like a mess right now, but it is functional. Got that, I don't know, last summer sometime, and got a good deal on it, Craigslist type thing, and yeah, it worked really well, but it came with a 20-pound tank, big old orange, looked like a scuba tank type thing, and it worked great. But I ran out, and a buddy of mine that I brew with, what he does is he takes his cylinders in to get exchanged. And the way it works, I guess here is, or at least at this place, is that if you take your tanks in, then you got to pay a hazmat fee because they do an exchange. But it doesn't matter how many tanks you bring in; it's a one fee. So I kind of waited till he had some tanks. He found a couple on Craigslist that he bought. Empty, and like I said, I had a 20, and then he got a couple new 10s, and he had some other stuff, and so I just gave him my tank, and I'm like, here, take them all in, and he was able to turn all this in, pay the one-time fee for all that, so it got us a deal that way, and then for my 20, he came back with two 10s, and then the third 10 from his deal that he got. There goes Pip, our cat. And so because he's like, well, what do you want? You want me to just get you another 20? And I'm like, no, how about you give me three 10s? Because that way I can have one in this kegerator. I want to turn a freezer into a keezer eventually, but maybe until then, just put some kegs in it and open up the lid and use picnic taps. And then I'll have a third one that I can kind of just move around. He's taught me a lot. This friend has taught me a lot about purging your vessels with CO2, whether it be your carboys or your cornies or whatever. Before you fill them, just put some CO2, a little trickle of CO2 in there to give it a pad to keep the oxygen off it. So I thought maybe the third one I could just have it over by like where my fermentation stuff is, and do that. So yeah, sorry, I'm kind of boring just showing you these tanks, but that's kind of what my thought was, to have some spare, and then it'd be a spare if one of them does go empty. Hopefully the other two would have something in it to come to the rescue. Okay, so that's about it. Sorry guys, this isn't very fancy right now, but just getting into this, and I just want to start putting things out there. It may not be the prettiest stuff yet, but at least hopefully it'll be there every week. And that is it. Happy Homebrew Wednesday to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys in the U.S. Yeah, homebrew up and 17 and all the other catchphrases that are out there. Okay, later guys.